We adore you, O Christ, and we praise you, because by your holy cross you have redeemed the world. An innocent man is condemned to death. Those who welcomed him with shouts of praise now send him away with shouts for his blood. Afraid of losing control, those in power pass the blame. We pray for those who are wrongly imprisoned, for those awaiting execution, and for those with power and authority. Condemned, Jesus is now led out to die. Hands that once carried wood to create, now carry wood for destruction. The wooden beam is placed upon his shoulders, and under the weight he begins to take his first steps. We pray for those who carry heavy loads, for those who work with their hands, and for those who force others against their will. Perhaps it was a loose stone. Maybe the weight got too much. Maybe he was pushed. Jesus finds himself crushed under the enormity of what is happening to him, pushed to the ground, but still he goes on. We pray for all those who want to give up, for those who have given up, and for those who cannot give up. The face that once looked upon him and smiled, now looks at him and weeps. There is nothing she can do to help him, and there is nothing he can do to comfort her. The arms that cradled him at birth will soon cradle him in death. We pray for those who have lost children, those who cannot have children, and for those separated from their loved ones. A man steps forward to help him. One man out of crowds of hundreds, if not thousands. A brief glimpse that he is not alone in this. A moment of hope and help in the most desperate and hopeless of situations. We pray for those who step out from the crowd, for those who risk life to help others, and for those desperately in need of a helping hand. A tender act of care pierces the violence and noise. A woman risks her place to step forward and offer him comfort. The blood and sweat spilt in hatred is carefully wiped away in love. We pray for those who care for others, for those who perform acts of mercy, and for those with messy lives. Despite the help, Jesus falls again. His burden is getting heavier, and his steps are getting more and more dragged out. Finding his feet again, he struggles forward once more. We pray for those who dread the coming day, for those whose body has failed them, and for those who have lost the will to go on. Amongst the jeers, the sound of weeping comes. Women who Jesus had lifted up wail as he is pushed down, but still he offers words of encouragement to them. We pray for those who weep for others, for those who are outcast from society, and for those who encourage others. Jesus cannot bear the weight any longer, the weight of the cross, the weight of this moment, the weight of people's expectations. We pray for those who struggle under heavy weights, for those caught in the grip of addiction, and for those who live with abuse. As his clothes are removed, the last of his humanity is stripped from him. The one who humbled himself is humbled even more. The God who made God's self vulnerable is made even more vulnerable. We pray for those who have their humanity stripped away, for those who are homeless, and for those who are cold. The carpenter who pierced wood with nails is now pierced himself. His tender acts of creation are inverted and mocked with a cruel act of destruction. Humanity's darkest act, performed against our brightest hope. We pray for those who will be beaten down today, for those who are vilified, and for those who commit unspeakable acts of violence. Even in his last moments, he is thinking of others. The thief, the soldiers, his mother. With his final breath, he offers all he has left and submits to death so that we might have life. We pray for those who will die today, for those waiting by bedsides, and for those unable to hold those whom they love. His lifeless body is brought down and placed in his mother's arms. The weight of his body mirrors the weight of her grief. He who breathed life into being is breathless now. We pray for those who mourn, for those with heavy hearts, and for those awaiting the worst. The silence of the grave awaits the one who sang of creation. The cold of the earth embraces the warmth of love. The darkness of the earth envelops the light of the world. We pray for those who cannot attend a loved one's funeral, for those who are waiting, and for those who dare to hope.